Hi, I'm doing this video to complement the other operation video that you get with your DVD with the new UniMove unit. I want to pay particular attention to the life of the pump, especially in the blue housing. We have two types of power units. One is a direct drive pump and motor running at 3450 RPMs. We're limited by the amount of vacuum that we can pull on a direct drive unit. So our more powerful units have a pulley-driven system, where this pump is actually running at over 5,000 RPMs. And the enclosure is to protect you from the pulley and to reduce the greater noise that's generated with the pulley system. So both of these units operate at 72 or 73 decibels. In any case, when we run this pump at 5,000 RPMs, it can overheat very easily. And we want to get as much fresh air to it as possible. We have customers that have been operating with their original pumps for over 20 years. But we've had customers who have also burned their pumps out in 20 days. And it's all a matter of getting fresh air back to the pump. And at 5,000 RPMs, it requires a lot of fresh air. So let me go through some of the basics of the operation. When you get your unit, as you can see, when I push my control handle in to lift this, it's coming up slowly. In the other operation video, we pointed out the unloaded speed control. And what I need to do is to close this valve more in order to get this suction foot to lift properly and to operate properly. And the heavier your attachments, the more you'll have to close that plate. So I've closed it to a point now where I've got good up-down control. I don't want to close it any more than that because our pump gets fresh air through the suction feet and through the valve position. If I close that plate more, I'm limiting the amount of airflow back to the pump. So we get air through the suction feet and we get air through the control wheel. And as I open our valve and defeat the system, we lower, and as I push it in, we close it. Now, the pump is not getting enough air if this valve is totally closed. With that valve closed, and the valve plate on the bottom of the control head partially closed, just the air coming through these feet alone is not enough to satisfy the pump. It won't burn out drastically, but it will reduce its life. So we have automatic balance control. I've now, instead of closing that valve all the way, I pull back on the valve and I'm introducing air through here. We've got air coming through both places, and that's the ideal situation. Now, when I put my unit now I've cut off the air through the feet, and I'm only getting air through the valve. This is a dangerous position to leave the unit. When you're going to pick up a box or any other thing, make your move, never suspend it. Right now I'm in a position where if I do this continuously, I'll significantly reduce the life of the pump. So pick your product up and then put it down. And if you've got an exceptionally heavy suction foot, which requires you to close this valve almost all the way in order to get your up-down control, then we suggest when it's not in use that you lower it all the way. Lower it so that it's not touching the ground and cutting off airflow through the feet. You could put it down on a milk crate, on some expanded metal or plastic grating that will allow airflow up through the feet. Or you can just leave it, as I'm leaving it now, with automatic balance control, as long as you don't thrust the valve all the way in. Now, you've got some heavier feet that really do require that valve be closed all the way. And that's going to minimize the amount of airflow back to the pump. So if you have a foot like this, again, put it on the ground, We suggest that you not suspend it in the air, because then you'll be limiting the amount of airflow. If you're going to put it down on a solid surface like the floor or a table, just make sure that one of the feet is off the edge and pulling air through it. And then this position becomes fine. We also have our docking station, which is designed to hold the UniMove up and to allow the valve handle to open all the way. And this is where it's getting its maximum airflow. So, show this video to anybody who's going to operate the UniMove. Make sure they understand that airflow back to the pump is very important, and to just make sure that they don't block off air through the feet or suspend anything in the air for any period of time. Thank you.